It appears to be working. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick overview on some of these licks. So this isn't, we're going to go back and review all the licks, but I'm going to give you a quick overview because your question was, how do I get from 1 to 4? How do I walk to chords? So, you've got a couple ways. You can move in a scalar fashion. Now remember, when we talked about scales, 1 is major, 2 is minor, which means you've got this minor shape of the third, up 2 frets to the 3, and there I'm at my 4.
Major, yeah.
So that was one way.
And that's scalar.
That's going up the scale.
Whereas the other way was chromatic.
The other's chromatic. Now just for jollies here, I can do the same thing using sixths. I can, now I'm on the 5th fret of the 1st string, 6th fret of the 3rd string, and then I'm going to go straight across the 7th fret, straight across the 9th fret, and then into the D. And of course, I would probably
So you did like you did a
no, I'm going to D, not E.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you did.
Well, you said you wanted to go from 1 to 4, right?
Yeah.
And then you from 4 to 5, you know.
Or just any sort of movement, like transitioning between one chord to another chord using thirds and sixths.
Using scale. Okay, so you can do it that way. You can do it scalar.
Okay.
And there, there I went. There I went to from 1 to 5. You can do it chromatically. Now that's what that did right there. That actually took me from A in root position, meaning I've got A and C sharp, and then I went into first inversion where I have a C sharp on the bottom now. So I did the straight across the 2nd fret, then 3rd fret and 4th fret, and moved up chromatically, and that leads me into the D if I need.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do it as a chicken picking thing, what I did was that I laid 2 fingers on here ready to play the note. When I hit the 3rd string, my finger, just because I'm pushing down, my finger leaves the string for a split second, but its tendency is going to be to come back, and that's where the chicken pick comes from. And then I pull up on the 2 strings, and then I do the chicken again. And you've got that. I've got a rough spot on my nail, and I don't have a nail file handy. But
so slowed down. That was
right.
And is that meant to be a triplet feel, like triplet?
It's not really a triplet. It's not an even thing. It's triplet. In fact, when I tried to notate it, I don't know. I can't figure out what the rhythmic values are.
Don't think about it. Just feel it then.
That was 1, 4, 5. 1, 4. Right?
Yeah.
5.
Into whatever,
one lick. Okay, so then there's one lick on here that I really wanted to show you. I'll show it to you 2 ways. I know I've showed it to you before, but you never learned it, so I'll show it to you again. This way I get more mileage from the lick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk into these same shapes that I just did. Okay.
In the thirds?
In 6.
6, okay.
So I walked into the first one, starting on the 4th fret. Now I'm in A right now, but this is very much a movable lick. You can play this anywhere. And then I went from the 5th fret up to the 7th fret, and then to the 7th fret of the 1st string. Well, let's do it chromatically on this one. When you do it, I mean, right now you're pausing because you've got to figure out where your hands are going to be.
Yeah.
But don't make that become part. Don't allow that to become part of your rhythm. You want. And it will be. That's a flashy, very cool lick. The other thing now, based on that lick. And by the way, I'm just doing 1-4-5. You don't have to do 1-4-5, but you can use this over any major chord. A cool lick that I wanted to see you play with Manzi. God rest his soul.
Is that the same thing, kind of backwards?
This is actually a moving scalar. We're going from the 5. So there, I'm walking up to the E. Then to a D, D major. Just take the same thing you just did, move it down 2 frets. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Then we're going to straight across the 9th fret, walking to straight across the 7th fret. Come on!
Okay.
It's a neat fast lick, and it sounds cool. Well, it does when straight across. There you go.
Okay.
Got it. Cool. Didn't expect you to nail that one that fast.
Yeah.
A couple others. This only works in the key of A. This is something I got from a Steve Trovato country thing back in the 80s.
Yeah. You showed me that before, but it's been a couple years.
Okay, well I just put it on the tape. It's tapped. I tapped it out for you. Another one. This is a neat lick.
Yeah.
This is a Chet Atkins style thing. Chet Atkins would do this thing where he would do scales and scaled licks and combine fretted notes with open string.
Brad Paisley's done a lot of that stuff.
Well, Chet Atkins maybe have been a slight influence on Brad Paisley. Yeah.
Skosh.
So what I'm doing, and this is tabbed out as well. I'm starting on the F sharp.
Yeah.
In the key of G though. I'm starting on the F sharp to the G. Then rolls off to the open A string. By the way, the strings on this guitar are uber dead, like beyond dead. So it's not twanging like it should, but that and we're playing through a jazz amp. So then here, that's a stretch. But that is B on the 7th fret, C on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, to the open D. Then E on the 7th fret, F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and the G.
And that's just an open, or a G major scale, essentially.
G major scale. Another cool.
With a little
you
half
start,
step walk
it's
up to,
a half step, approaching from the 7th of the scale. Actually, I didn't put this part down, but the lick on the tape years ago ended, which is C on the 4th string, D on the 2nd string, to a B, which doesn't make sense, and then on G.
Okay.
So we got that. What else? Oh. This is, I'm not nailing this one, but It's been a while since. I can't play with my nail messed up like this, but what it is, you're starting right out of this is a G chord, right?
G shape, yeah.
Well, it's a D shape kind of.
Oh, well, yeah, G chord, D shape.
But you start with the first two notes of that, and then the open string again. For open first string in this case. Then a D note on the 7th fret of the 3rd string to a D sharp on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and then the open E. It's like going.
Boy, that's a weird sounding lick.
Well, you've got, if you get it going and you leave the strings ring as long as you can, it sounds really cool. It's ear catching. So you got, and notice now what I'm really trying to do, I'm gonna try to
Oh, so you're just moving 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
triple left, triple left,
Okay.
triple left. But you try to leave the strings ring.
Okay, and it's just kind of a cascading, descending cascade with
Right.
open strings. Okay.
So anyway, that the 7th fret to 4th fret to open, then 5th fret, 2nd fret, open, 5th fret, 2nd fret, open, and on the G. I'm trying to do all of it with my pick because my finger is messed up.
Oh yeah.
So that's the gist of it, and then there are some pedal steel licks on the thing too. And so anyway, at this point, I'm going to shut this off,
Cool.
and then we're going to talk about the licks.